Hey guys, it's Ed with CMC Reptiles. I did a video about a week ago on this guy right here. Yeah, this is a week later. As you can see, he's in the same exact position as he was in the first video. And this guy, during the week, just sits there completely chill, laid flat. But when Friday comes around, he gets in this cocked position every Friday because he knows it's about that time he's going to eat. And it's at night, only Friday night. During the day, he's completely fine. But it just shows you how these guys learn routines and schedules when you stick to just a normal schedule and a routine. Since this guy was a baby, I mean, I got this albino boa from BHB Reptiles in 2016 when it was just a hatchling. Now it's an 8-foot, 40-pound snake that eats jumbo rats. So you could see he was in that same position, and when he struck that rat the first time, in that first video, if you noticed, he didn't even look at the rat. He was just focused on the frozen rats cocked down there. He knows I'm going to open the cage, and I'm going to actually try to film this again. And I'll feed all the snakes this time, all the boas. You look down here. And the one thing I don't want to do is trigger him to strike the glass. Because right now he knows food's coming in. But there's the Motley. Motley's complete different. The Motley knows food's coming in. She's a sweetheart. This guy too, the jungle. He's completely fine. This guy up here is the only one that gets in that S shape. I mean, like clockwork. It is a trip. And he will not move. I mean, he'll sit like that for hours. He's been in that same position for about 3 hours now. And he'll stay like that all night. Until morning, then he just coils up in the corner, figuring, okay, food isn't coming in tonight, but he knows it's about that time of week where food is coming in. From what I understand, I'm not sure, but I've saw videos and read some things about albinos, how their vision isn't as good as other snakes. Their vision's not as clear. So sometimes I wonder if this is why he gets like this. Because there is times if I walk past the glass, he hits the glass. And I don't want him doing that because I don't want him to damage his mouth. Because you see how fast they hit that glass. They could definitely injure their mouth. So that's why I'm really careful when I unlock the door and I slide really slow. But we'll try to get this on video again. Alright guys, so I'm going to grab the rat. I'm going to do a little bit of crawling here. The snake is a completely sweet animal. You can hold him. I'm always handling this animal too, so I don't want you to think he's this mean, aggressive animal, because he's not. I just want to show you how the instincts of these animals just kick in when it comes to feeding. And again, I only feed frozen thawed. And these are large rats, jumbo rats, that I feed these guys. So first I'll do the albino, the guy on top, and then the Motley. Again, you see how lightning fast. This is only 7 days, exactly 7 days later from the last time I did a video to feed this guy. And he knows the door's opening, but he will focus just down, looking down. Again, he got it in the water. The funny thing is the Motley's down here completely. I don't have to worry about these striking the glass. That's why I'm wondering if the albino has a little bit of sight issues. His vision's not as good. The Motley I don't worry so much about, so we can get a closer look at the Motley. Alright guys, so we're going to give the Motley his... You can see how she has to kind of find the food, unlike the albino. See how sweet, slow. completely different from the way the albino takes its food. And it's not because it's a meaner snake or anything like that. I just think its vision is not as good as the other two animals. Same with the jungle. Okay, we'll try to get in here with the jungle. And see what I mean? The jungle also is not so speedy. Alright guys, so he's all done. What I usually do after I feed him, turn the lights out, I leave the room for about an hour and a half, let them take their food down. They don't like to bother them walking around with the light on. Sometimes they take longer to eat. But now that this guy's all fed, he'll be good. The jungle's already ate his meal, went to the hide. The motley, she's also done. And you see her. All sweet animals. The jungle's already in its hide. Done for the night. He'll stay in there for a week unless he wants a drink of water. But the really neat thing about these guys, and one thing I wanted to point out, is these guys are the most docile big snakes to me out of all the constrictors. Yeah, they're the most puppy dog tame. The big boas, like I said in the last video, pound for pound, the strongest snakes, the most muscular. And I mean, you see this guy right here. He's just looking right down at me. He would definitely eat another rat. He would eat another rat. And again, I think this guy has issues with vision. Right now, he's extremely food responsive. He's just going to hammer anything, every little move I make. And I definitely think this guy has issues with his sight. Because I'm actually down on the floor, he's looking straight at me. And every time I just make the tiniest movement, he moves, and I don't want him striking the glass. We'll go down to Monty. And one thing you need to know about these snakes, this is one of the animals I do bring to the birthday parties. I brought this same animal to a reptile show a few weeks back, Sacramento Reptile Show I vended. Brought him just for one of the days. I brought him on Sunday. And I mean, she was being passed around like a newborn baby. Never any issues. Completely fine. And that's the way most of these boas are. You take care of these animals, they're just going to do so much better. And that night I brought her back after the show, fed her the following day, took a nice big rat. And that's what I mean about these guys. I mean, that just shows you how completely comfortable she is. The fact she was being passed around all day, hundreds of people handling her, taking photos with her, and she was fine. he's like even closer. But just a beautiful animal. My favorite snake. My favorite boa. When I first got this guy, about the size of his head right now. And now 8 feet long, 40 pounds. Big male. And just a really sweet animal. Has its own personality over the other two. To me, these snakes, the Boa Constrictors, to me are the Saint Bernards of the snake world. Big, impressive animals, but just sweet as can be. And this girl is just amazing. And I like doing these videos because I am doing educational stuff, and I do want the people that hire me to come to do these shows, do birthday parties. They could actually watch the channel, see the animals I'm actually bringing, and kind of see them when they're feeding, You know, because so many people ask, do they bite? Can they kill you? Are they mean? What you have to realize with these constrictors, more than anything, you put a rat in here. Let's say you put a live rat in with these animals, which I never do. But if you put a live rat in here, and this guy is not hungry, doesn't want nothing to do with the rat, this animal will stress out with that rat in there, curl up in the corner, not do anything to defend itself while the rat eats him. Because their only instinct is to kill when they're hungry. When they bite and constrict, they're only doing it because they want to eat. They're not doing it to be mean. They're not doing it to kill anything. And they have no defense. You know, these aren't like venomous snakes who have that defense where, hey, you mess with a venomous snake, they're going to bite you, you're dead. These guys, their only instinct is to eat. They're not mean. These animals don't have that in them to be mean. They don't go chasing you in the jungle or chasing you down the street. These guys just, I mean, that's all they do. They eat, they sleep. That's it. They're not mean. They're not aggressive. They don't chase you. They don't bite you for no reason. And they don't want to hurt anybody. And I think out of all the constrictors, the boas are my favorite over any of them. And that includes ball pythons, retics. These are just the big puppy dogs of the snake world. Big, impressive animals. They could get up to 12, 13 feet. Some of the females. Like I said, my males are 8 feet. This female's 7 feet, pushing 8 feet, 4 years old. They're all of them are about the same age. Because the jungle I also got, the jungle I got when it was just a hatchling, and the jungle I got on the Morph Market. Of course, you know the Motley I got from Brian Cusco almost a year ago. It's been a year. In November. November will be 1 year. But yeah, she's doing great. Still looking at me. I mean, that's all it's doing. It's wondering, okay, is he going to give me another rat? Tomorrow he'll be coiled up in a ball for the rest of the week. Food will be out of his mind until about 5 days to 7 days after. And then he'll be in that one position I showed you earlier, giving you that stare, that I'm hungry look. I do the same thing when I'm about to eat a really big chicken sandwich from Jack in the Box. All right, guys. Well, I just wanted to share that with you, and I'll talk to you later.